Good evening, one and all. This is Michael from Bro JMR, and I am bringing you a brand new episode of We Love the Movies. This is episode number 19. And this is something that I've been teasing for a couple of months, this video to do. And I finally have a day off to be able to do it, and so I am. What I'm going to be talking about is some subgenres of our collection, some collector's series, I guess you would say, of special edition stuff that's been put out that was released as an entire series of stuff. And I have several examples of several of them that I'm collecting. Now this is only 7 of the multitude of different lines that they've put out as far as DVDs, and these are the ones that I'm focusing on collecting right now. And in the future, as I get these collections collected and put to bed, as I end one, I'll start another one. Because there, like I said, there is more of them that I have a few of, but I'm not specifically collecting for. And again, I'll get around to that. But this is an expensive habit, and you know I have to be smart with my money. And so now, before I get started, maybe I should explain a little bit more. I've had a couple of minutes to think about this. A lot of these were different studios putting out like their own line of special edition stuff, so it's not like bare bones DVDs. And so this is what they called these, and so maybe that makes a little more sense. The first one is part of Artisan's DVD special editions. This is one that I may eventually start collecting, the Artisan special edition DVDs. But specifically for right now, the ones that I'm looking for are the Reservoir Dogs 10 Years Collection. 6 of them were released. I have 2 of them. And what they are is basically just the 10th anniversary of the Reservoir Dogs. This is one of them. This is the what I call the group photo one. And then there was also 5 other ones, each featuring a different member. For instance, the other one that I have is Mr. White. And there was 4 other ones that were basically just like this. When you open it up, it's just the other one that have, because they released this, and then they released it with the slip covers of the different editions. So they have Mr. White, and there's also Mr. Pink, Mr. Blonde, Mr. Orange, and Mr. Brown. So it's basically like this, except for it's the different colors with the different character on it. The next one I want to talk about is the Fox 5-Star Collection. Now these are very, very hard to get any information on. I just scoured the internet looking for some more information besides what I already had, so maybe I can explain a little bit to you about it. If you've seen these, they come in like a silver box, and they're done in such a way where if the light hits it, it turns colors. There was 7 of these that were released, including Independence Day and Die Hard. Now, a lot of people think that the Die Hard 2, Die Hard 3 that came in this box set were 5 stars, but they were not. So we have Die Hard and Independence Day. There's also the French Connection, Speed, Sound of Music, MASH, and Cleopatra. I said there's 7 of them. I found 2 of them, so I'm always on the lookout for those. Those are actually getting more and more difficult to find. Unlike this next collection, This next collection is called the New Line Platinum Series. They were released by New Line Cinema. The series premiered on August 22nd, 1997. And it contains 64 films and 2 film collections to date. So, 64 plus 2 film collections. I have several of these. This is actually what I have the most of, so I'm not going to go through and read all 67 something of them. So since there is so many of them, I'm not going to actually read all of the titles to you. I'm just going to show you what I do have already. You can tell what this line looks like by, for instance, here's Pleasantville. You'll see across the top it says New Line Platinum Series. This was their special edition set. It had just some extra special features on it to set it aside from the bare bones edition. This is actually a great movie. If you have never seen this, definitely check this out. Some of the other ones that I have is the Lord of the Rings special extended DVD edition. I have Fellowship of the Rings, Two Towers, and Return of the King. The only ones, the other Lord of the Rings films were not released on that. Only these extended editions were released on the New Line Platinum Series. The next one is History of Violence. I've got Boogie Nights. Some of these came out in just a case like this, or came out in a snapper case, depending on when they came out. The first one's 97 to about 2000 came out in snapper cases. The rest of them came out in keep cases. And some of them, like Boogie Nights and another one that I have, were released in just in much better packaging. So that's really nice. We also have Blade 2. I've got Secondhand Lions, Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, Wedding Crashers, Willard, 7. This is another one of those nice special boxes that they had. Rush Hour 3. Now I know this has a slip cover on it, but if you take it out, you can see it is a New Line Platinum Series. This was just, they re-released them with these slip covers basically added to it. We have Next Friday. This is another one of those ones I was telling you about that had the snapper cases, which suck. And finally, Little Nicky. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is also from New Line. It's called Infinifilm. Infinifilm basically took over where New Line Platinum Series stopped. They continued it under this new line called Infinifilm, and the reason why they called it Infinifilm is because it had special features built into the discs that if you watched it, and I believe that they were called Behind the Movie, or excuse me, Beyond the Movie. If you opened up that as you're watching the movie, something would flash at the bottom of the screen, and you can click on that, and it'll take you to a special feature specifically about that scene. You could also watch these separately. This line started in 2001, and the last one, the last Infinifilm was in 2007 with the number 23, after which many of the films were ported over to Blu-ray, and they were released as focus points. Alright. And so that was the problem with a lot of these. This one, as well as another one that I'm going to bring up, as Blu-ray was introduced, there was no need to do this kind of thing on DVD anymore, because Blu-ray could do it better. And so there's approximately 13 of these that were released. I have 6 of them, which I will show you now. Austin Powers Gold Member, Blow, the Butterfly Effect, number 23, which I told you was the very last one. Again, this was fortunate enough to have a slip cover, which actually a pretty cool slip cover, but you can see that it does have the Infinifilm line. We also have Friday After Next and Rush Hour 2. Again, take the slip cover off, you can see that it does have the Infinifilm line.